In a prior debate, because this is not all rebuttal, this is my opening statement, so I'll come back to other points that were raised. In a prior debate, Zakir pointed to Genesis 12:3, the promise to Abram that through his seed all the world would be blessed, and claimed that that was ultimately through Ishmael, and he alluded to the, quote, great nation of Ishmael that would come out. In point of fact, the Torah tells us that this is about Israel. It says these very same words, the whole world will be blessed through the seed of Jacob in Genesis 28. The promise that those that bless them would be blessed, those that curse would be cursed, is applied to the entire nation of Israel in Numbers, the 24th chapter. There's no ambiguity there. As to the allegations that we've heard in past debates that Genesis 15 promises the land to the Ishmaelites, it's quite the contrary. It's explicit. Those who went into captivity in Egypt and would be liberated from Egypt, the entire Torah testifies that the land was given to Israel. Regardless of your views of modern Israel today, the Torah is explicit. There's no ambiguity. And either you believe as Muslims that the Bible is unreliable and corrupt, in which case you shouldn't be citing it, or if you're going to cite it, then let it speak for itself, because it's utterly unambiguous when it comes to this. That's why Jews pray towards Jerusalem and Muslims pray to Mecca. There's no confusion about the direction and the goals. As for the text that I was asked to challenge from Deuteronomy 18, of course, what you just had is a perfect example of adding to the Bible. Not only adding to the Bible, but turning the words upside down. So Deuteronomy 18:15, Navi mikir b'cha me'echacha kamoni yakim lecha Adonai Elohecha elav tishma'un. It's quite explicit. He will be mikir b'cha from your own midst, which occurs in the Torah 11 times, and every single time in the Torah, without exception, explicitly means from the midst of your people Israel. Not from your brother nations, as you heard. That is not only adding to the Bible, it is twisting it and turning it upside down. 10 times in Deuteronomy alone, it says, Mikir b'cha, drive out the evil from your midst. It always means, without exception, 100 times out of 100 in the Torah, from the midst of your people Israel. Was Muhammad an Israelite? No. Case closed. We don't even need to discuss it any further. But let's go a little further. Because it not only says mikir b'cha, but me'echecha. That term me'echecha or me'echa, from your brothers, when it says from your brothers, it's explicit within Deuteronomy itself. If you look, for example, in the 24th chapter, explicit saying, if you have a foreigner who is not from your brothers meaning from your own Israelites. So not only does it say he must be from your own midst of Israel, but he must be a brother Israelite. That's explicit. And then it says kamoni, like me. So what does that mean to be like Moses? It also says that the king, that he must be specifically from your own midst, one of your brothers. The king had to be an Israelite. Again, Muhammad was not. But what does it mean to be a prophet like Moses? Well, the Bible tells us. There's no ambiguity. In the 34th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy, it tells us that no prophet as of yet, so this is now looking forward, no prophet as of yet had risen up like Moses. What was distinguished about Moses? Who worked all these national miracles in front of everyone, and who spoke to God face to face, who knew God face to face. In Exodus, it says that God spoke to Moses like a man speaks to his friend. Did Muhammad perform a series of national miracles, miracles that were witnessed by multitudes of people over a period of months, like Moses did? Here, yes, the answer is Jesus did. Did Muhammad? Absolutely not. Whether you believe he performed any miracles or not. Did he perform miracles on the levels of Moses and signs and wonders for the nation to see? No. Not only so, do Muslims believe, and I'm asking you a question, that Muhammad spoke to God face to face? Does Allah speak to any of his servants face to face? Does he speak to him like a man speaks to his friend? Isn't that almost blasphemous in Islam? Yet the prophet like Moses would be one who spoke to God face to face like a man speaks with his friends. As for the question is, who was this prophet ultimately speaking of? Well, the Bible tells us. The New Testament tells us explicitly. Again, if you're going to cite the Bible, let the Bible speak for itself. Acts, the 3rd chapter, Peter tells us that the prophet, like Moses, that all Israel must listen to, is Jesus, Yeshua. Again, there's no ambiguity. There's no question. As for the servant of the Lord that was referenced in Isaiah 42 and 49, that cannot